Welcome back! Disclaimer. I understand that the canyon change, as we have playfully dubbed it, in which, by nacho rules, if you make 27 changes at once, but it's all in just one little session, that's one change, right? That's a canyon change. I understand that this is not the correct way to do it. It is the way we do it here, because I have not the time nor the energy to make single, incremental, individual changes to a vehicle when if you just draw back, hit that focus and get out to a wide angle lens and just look at the size of the fleet, the number of vehicles that are in play at any given time, and the number of vehicles being built at any given time. We're never going to have hyper optimization because we have too many. It's a little bit of a quality over quantity issue. Quantity over quality issue. There. We do have vehicles that are pretty well sorted out. Our Genom hasn't had a part touched in months and months and months. Ratchet, Daphne. There are vehicles that are in baseline has been essentially exactly the same since we changed out his 90mm shocks for a different set of 90mm shocks. He just runs the same stuff all the time. But in things in progress, everyone is subject to a canyon change. That said, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to another installment of an It Came From the Workbench series. This is the second episode of It Came From the Workbench, Volume 42, The Wolverine. And has the Wolverine undergone a canyon change? Also, for people who know will know, you only have a finite number of characters that you can fit on here. So there we go. So his name is Logan, because Logan is the Wolverine. So, well, one noticeable change right there. Very quiet. I ordered some parts. I had some parts and some pieces that came in, and I was doing bench tinkering. There is a little lip right just past where those Triol stickers are. Just past it. There's a lip that goes to the scale pad, because the scale pad is perfectly leveled. Perfectly leveled. So when we weigh things, we get decent numbers. And it's got a lip of a couple inches, and then what we will do is we'll combine that lip with a yoga block in this form, in this, and we will just try to drive up that lip and over to give us an idea, are we moving in the right direction? And the previous disclaimer came from a point where we may have exceeded the, look at the bag on the front. I don't know how it shows, but it is bagged. We may have exceeded the holding capacity of the foams that we stuck into these Ibex. I almost said Hyrax. Ibex. You will notice the shocks have changed. I wanted down travel. I wanted some down travel. We basically had none before. We've got a little bit now. I think this rig needs 110s. These are 100 Desert Lizards, which I took to the lathe, and I kind of dravified them. I turned off the cap and threaded them so that they are element ends on either end. They didn't really change length. They're still 100mm dravs. They are run in the, I think what you would call half droop, which is the smallest spring below the piston down here, and then the medium length spring above the piston. It's actually the, what I would call medium long. I have 4 different lengths of soft springs, and this is the medium long one. And because it's the medium long one, you'll see we're getting full collapse. We're getting full collapse, but we could have more travel if I could have found the shorter spring to fit in there. So it is sub-optimized. Why is it continues to be sub-optimized after canyon change? Because I was working on changing the springs on the shocks that were already on it, and I couldn't find fitting springs that were rated correctly. It basically needed 1 rate down in the rear and 2 rates down in the front, because I was watching it crest that lip right over here, and the front wouldn't compress at all. They were showing shaft about that much, and they would just rip. So it was purely using the compliance in the tire. Then, of course, Amazon intervened, and we've got brass portal cover weights and did not remove these big brass weights. So as such, the weight distribution is, I think it's 6238. I neglected to write. I took a picture. There should be a picture of, but I neglected to take note. It's 6238 weight distribution. We're sitting at about 6.6 pounds because some weight went on. Some weight went on in a couple different places. I wanted to get underdrive, overdrive into the system, and we do indeed have both because we were fitted with that ultralight Amazon gearbox, the 49-gram gearbox, and I had an OD3. Still do. It's right here in the box. Crawler OD3, 18%. But I also wanted to pep the speed up just a little bit because Stealth X with capper axles. Okay, so we're running a 21 tooth pinion and an 84 tooth spur. That's 4-to-1. We times that by the 2.6 internal ratio. That's 10.4. We times that by the 3.75 that's in the center gear. That's 39-to-1. And then we have 1223s, which is 1.9. So our FDR is 74-to-1. Only in the front, it's not. Because those are 1322s, which is 1.7. Yeah, that's 9%. So I haven't gone and done all the like, you know, they say that this is 12% and this is 10%. Well, this is actually like 8.86% overdrive in here. And I want to say the underdrive in this with the option gear, not the 18%, the 12% is actually like 11.46 or something. Let's say it's 11.46. 20.3. I'm really generally comfortable right around that 20% range. The Stealth X added weight, but the Stealth X also does this. I mean, it's one of the quietest things we've got. The Stealth X is very quiet. And when moving gears around, absolutely just slathered them in CV joint grease. The servo retains its usual nonsensicality, and cleaning up the whole affair, Fusion SE 1800, because the Fusion SE is the choice of the test fleet. And basically what we're hoping to get here, I worry, these are filled with low C40 weight. The front end, they feel very slow. Now we've got 6.6 pounds, maybe that... This thing has a real predilection to just, I mean, is it the grip? I've been driving around on the floor and it just tries to get its own wheels out. Well, yeah, I mean, we're not supposed to reuse the wheel nuts. Also, because the Stealth X is much bigger than what was there before, we had to move the electronics. The receiver's right there. It'll be fine. Switches on the side of it. Made a little triangle plate up here in the front to hold the battery. Got the battery pretty much as far forward. I tried running it this way. It's really difficult to get it in there because you have to feed it down this way. You can't come in from the front. And this kind of tucks the wires nicely out of the way. I'm okay with it. I'm worried that the springing isn't quite right. The links, the belly hangs a little bit lower. And by that a little bit, I mean a lot. We also changed out to an element skid because I was willing to make the exchange. We're going to sacrifice a bit of, look how level those links are. I was willing to sacrifice a little bit of the clearance, not having a flat belly, but the skid drops the entire gearbox about 5 millimeters lower. So if we can get all that weight a little bit lower, that might be fine. There's a lot of question marks. Did we go too far? And on top of that, it was visible a second ago. There it is. See that little fellow right there? I didn't notice when assembling the first time. That's a blue dot. Why is that important? An orange dot means G8. A blue dot means predator. So these are predator ibex, and they were a big part of the questioning of whether I'd gone too far. It is the height of summer, and these will fall off when the rocks start to warm at all. So what are we going to be seeing? Like, Are we going to get a loss of traction because we're overwhelming the front? Is there too much front weight? Is the skid hanging too low going to be a problem? The beauty of it is we've performed enough canyon changes that I feel like if something is bad, I'll know what the bad is from. I did say that there's SSD 1322s in place of the 1223s. So that's just the like 9%, the smallest one. And then paired that to there, get to around that 20%. The OD3 would have taken us to like 27. Also still an option. Though, can I give this up? Probably not. Is it got cruise control set? Did I say cruise control? Yeah. I mean, Robinson 84 tooth in there. And for whatever on a Bauhaus slipper eliminator, a little jobby, a little adapter guy that you can run conventional spurs with, for whatever reason, I don't know what that reason is, I tried to put a gear cover on there because I would be fine. Everything's out in the open. It's 48 pitch. I would not be opposed to having a gear cover. Also, I had to be really careful about tucking the wires so that nothing can fall back into gears. I would have been fine running a gear cover on this. If I put a gear cover on that, you can't move it. It won't move. Like it locks something up. Something is binding under the gear cover and I don't know what, so we're just going to leave it off. It also, it's like a noise amp. It's like putting a speaker box over your spur, and I would rather have this. So this guy has to continue to be able to do the thing because we have tires to test. We've got a number of 2.2s that need to be tested, big 2.2s, and this is the guy to do it. So now I have other considerations to take into account that these are Predator. So temperature is definitely a factor. I don't know if the gearing is correct. I got close. I operated off the assumption that running on the 8-tooth pinion in the Amazon lightweight box that it was at about a 10.5 final. This one should be about a 10.4 final, so we should be very close in gearing, having overdriven the front and underdriven the gear. So I don't know where we're going to end up. I feel fairly confident about it. The low speed, though, is... I do apologize to myself for that. How low can we go? I mean, it's barely perceptible. And because it's FOC, it will actually move. I mean, I'm hopeful, but at the same time, I've messed things up before. There's every chance I've messed it up again. The suspension is the big question mark here today. Is it underdamped? No, is it overdamped? Is it undersprung? Is it oversprung? What is it? And really, realistically, there's only one real way to find out. I was worried, primarily, that it was going to be bigly overdamped. But if the drive back is any indication, it is at worst slightly overdamped. See, I'm not really seeing anything from the rear suspension through there. The amount of turn in is wild. Yeah, the suspension action just feels really slow. Now the heavy damping is keeping it very flat. And I don't know. I doubt the microphone is picking up. It's much too low in the frequency range, but I'm hearing like a of lug scrub, presumably from the back, because we've got that like 20-ish%. Have we compromised the utterly ridiculous amount of stability that this had previously before it got a big change? No. I mean, you have to try to roll this. And I think if we go to about, let's go to like 25. No, we'll go a little higher. Let's go 30. 33, 1/3 throttle. Cruise controlling. Let's come right in here. Five and a quarters portals. That was really a test to see where the belly was coming out. I'm just going to keep it full lock right here. I mean, this explains some things. In the right environment, compounds like S5 and Predator they are the thing. Yeah, this will just go places. Slick Rock is really not really showing us overall here. Let's see. Yeah, once we get around that edge, that's pretty easy. Come out wide. Yeah. It is really quite point and shoot. All right, so maybe worries misplaced. What's that going to pull? Little bit. A little more throttle. Okay, yeah. Because I'm trying to pull a line at like 14% throttle. And you just give it a little more throttle and it's right through. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No more easy stuff. Only hard stuff. I also don't think this is a simple instance of, is the suspension doing better or worse? It's how seamless does the suspension action feel? And it feels pretty transparent. If I'm able to just focus on the tire and the placement of the tire in the line, then the suspension is working just fine. Yeah, forward drive is nearly in excess. I'm having to drive one-handed because I forgot my hat in the shed. I gotta go back and get my hat. That was a little push out, little scrub there. Can we hop back? I don't want to reverse it. I just want to try. Oh, come on. Come on, that's good. Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh, this guy is all right. This guy is all right. Oh, my. Okay. The Wolverine he's digging in. We'll go clockwise into here. We'll start with the worst one. I went and got my hat. That's what I did. Now the gnats have a shade. Okay, it's definitely not too much front weight, because that would have flopped. Now it's just keeping that tire over on that cut right there. Got to get the edge of it. Right there. Oh, yeah, buddy. Do the things. Get over that. Over that. Nice. So nice. Okay. And I don't think that we've skewed the... I think 6238 is fine. I think we're going to descend pretty fine. Rear end stays down. And I think this situation right here in living color... Oh, that catch of the day, is that heavy damp. I think he likes the heavy damp. So perhaps, possibly, potentially, we were just under damped before. So now we second guess, was the springing close enough? Is that little bit of down travel that we're getting here, is that helping? I don't think it's hurting. It's like surgical, the placement. I want to get right over the top. Oh, man. That is rewarding. That is really rewarding. And we've established a baseline. Not that guy. We've established an actual baseline of performance that is, I mean, I would go so far as to say unquestionably too high. Predator Ibex. We're going to test other tires in the future and be like, so what are we testing these against? Oh, Predator Ibex. This guy descends like he has a parachute. Stupid. Stupid. I love it. When an unintentional plan comes together and you make a bunch of changes at once, and then, oh, it's net sum good. We are firmly into net sum good. There's that spot. Wrap it, wrap it. Got to get over that lip. The 20%, 20.3, what did we figure it was? Might be letter perfect because it can keep that nose pushed down just enough. You get a little shrug, and then it's just determining whether it's cut a little bit of throttle or add a little bit of throttle. Okay, we're gonna go big drop right here. Big drop. It's gonna drop that front corner. Now see, is that, well, no. See, I'm watching that driver rear lift. Okay, that was a two-wheel descent. He did a handstand. I mean, do you know what I mean? The RS700 might not be the pajama jammy jam, and I want to blame the RS400 exclusively. Did I say 700 before? The RS400 might be to blame because the steering is really inconsistent. Like getting it to track in a straight line, Wolverine travels in an arc. Sometimes he arcs to the left, sometimes he arcs to the right. It depends on what I was doing before. So it doesn't seem like horn slippage. That's one of those atomic 2.5 millimeter screw double clampers. He had a real problem with this last time. Okay, I got a little too cute. Will the rear go through? Yeah. Move aside and let the man go through. Let the man go through. The stability is really next level stuff. I was just going to go to the next setup, but then I was like, I want to try that three-wheel motion again. So if we get a little higher up on the entry, don't want to catch the cage. Okay. We're so high on that side. Don't brush. Don't brush. Need to get past it a little right there. Now we're on the other side of it. We can pull up. Grab that corner. Oh my gracious. That amount of stability and maneuverability at the same time is honestly kind of wild. And I kept questioning myself, working on him on the bench. I was like, do we need high clearance? Do we need high clearance links, not just those straight links that we're looking at into there? Well, portals, 5 1/4. If anything is up that high, I don't know how much high clearance are going to help. There's no angle to the skid to improve the breakover. All of our breakover comes from tire and axle. And, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I feel like it's working. Right, here on the sides of the ye old ramp, we've got the impossible rocks. You've got to find purchase to even get up here. There's the skid. All right. I'm just watching straight drop backs. There we go, a little speed on. A lot of dust coming off of that. Nobody drives here because they kind of can't. Let's try. Okay, if you can get a tire up onto the ramp and use that, then use that. That shot a little wide. If I can, this is a 100% reverse guy. He doesn't have 100% reverse, but he could use it. Just that initial pull onto the obstacle. Surface, I should say. This guy does not qualify as an obstacle. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's going to get really... Okay, we got way too much transferred onto that driver rear. Hop it, hop it. I need to get on the other side of it. Don't load it, don't load it. He is not... Oh my God, I think I just got 3 mosquitoes in one swing. He is not self-rideable. Once he is upside down, he is upside down. Oh. Knowing Predator, now they're coming after my face. I think we would honestly, we'd probably be better off if we sprayed this down with a hose first. Okay, I want to try not to fall into the same pitfall again. That driver rear really gets funneled in. Okay, oh, bagging in. Oh, come on. Okay, that's axle bound up. Get it over. All right, all right. Okay, how long will that stay? You. What are you? The ability to put that much beans in. We are stirring the beans and still staying on. Coming around, coming around. It is really difficult to, oh man, they're just swarming me. There's another one. I gotta think of something, right? By the time I think of something, the season will be over and we won't have to worry about mosquitoes anymore. I just hit myself in the face. That one was right on my ear. Okay, yeah, all right. Ordinarily, okay. Oh, we can move out into the sun. It's got to be because we're in the shade. I can't see any of this. I can't. Oh no, we gotta move. We'll see if they come out here in the sun. It is hot out here. It's already hot. The rocks are gonna get up past predator range fairly quickly today. That little slippy greasiness, that's already heat soak. He is, I mean, it's like he's got an adamantium skeleton, man. Can you swing? Can you swing that? Oh, get that pumpkin over. Riding the spine. It is something. It is really something. Oh no, they did. Okay, I'm not seeing any skaters, but the gnats don't care about the sun. They're just fully here. Just doesn't quite have the grip. Hey! It's rare, I mean it really is, to hear that tire scrub and it not be directly indicative of just complete loss of traction. So I mean, how many times can I say stability? You get these lateral slides that don't even lift a wheel. And then the descending, just forget about it. All right, so this little section we'd call dry waterfall right here. Dry waterfall is almost unbreachable because it will funnel you. No matter what your entry line is, try to get up across here. And you get to a point, and usually what happens is you get so much crossweight transferred into whatever rear tire is in the hole, whichever way you try to approach it. But the rear tire gets really overloaded, and then you can't put enough weight down. You end up twisting your own spine and falling over backwards. Unless we can do some magic here. Oh, they are biting me. They are biting me so much. We're hanging in. We're hanging in. Little bit of throttle, little bit. Oh, the drop back. Okay, let's reset that. Oh. All right. Okay, let's try hooking the outside here. See, now we're going to load the other side. Those little bumps will get that front end to settle. I've got theories. I got theories. Get it. Get it. Do it. Oh, yes. You're a monster. Overdrive, underdrive. Do they make a difference? And what do I mean by that? I mean, overdrive is that the front axle is spinning. How do I state this? Okay, underdrive is slowing down the rear axle. Overdrive is speeding up the front axle. You can accomplish it in the axle with ring gears or portal gears. You can accomplish it in the gearbox with how the gearbox outputs. That means that the drive shaft will be... Oh, I think some of the gnats got in, like they're inside my brain now, and now my brain is like, we need to contact you about your car's extended warranty. On this build, Wolverine's rear drive shaft is spinning slower than his front drive shaft. Does that mean anything? Like, if the gearbox is 50-50, and we have just ring gears involved, which means that the outputs, so that means that even the ring gears are technically spinning at the same velocity. It's the output shafts in the rear and the universals in the front. Now, like if you put an overdrive, like an 827 in the front and an 833 in the back, now the shafts are spinning slower in the rear and faster in the front. Does it make a difference? Does it make a difference if you have an 833 in the rear and an 827 in the front, or just an 824 in the front, which is about the same amount? That's what I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out through anecdotal evidence, because this guy has 12% roughly outputting out of the gearbox. So the rear drive shaft is spinning about 12% slower than the front one. But then the shafts in the axle are still spinning the same speed because they have the same ring and pinion gears, but then he has changed portal gears in the front. So only the stub axles in the front are spinning faster. Does that make a difference? I don't know. I think it's a summing the totals to where you make these changes and you find out, do the parts work in concert together? He's gonna fall. If he doesn't fall, like, there he goes. Here's the thing. He can almost get out of this. If he needs like a rounded hat, just something to put the tire in more contact with the ground. So in closing, I've adjusted the sub trim on that servo like 9 times. And now the servo is determinedly aiming to the left, and we can get super steering to the left and not super steering to the right. We've lost about 10% steering to the right. Did the horn slip? I don't think it did. Is something inside the servo going on? Maybe. Do we just risk running a full height on there? I mean, I'm leaning that way. I'm definitely leaning that way. I will sacrifice some of the speed for some robustness. I mean, if anybody in the comments thinks Wolverine ain't good. Let me know why. I classify this as dummy good. And I'm going to get out of the gnats now. I thank you for joining us here for this one here in the canyon. Please do show up down in the comments below. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. In between now and then, please one and all, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you again here from the canyon with our next installment of what have you. Look, it might turn into an absolute scorch fest, but it's going to be a beautiful day. I hope your day is beautiful as well. We'll see you next time, everybody.